think we're live.
Well,
I think we made it.
that was a bit of excitement. Hello, everybody.
Oh, Language just says Lexergy doesn't seem to work either, which I couldn't get on it earlier, but I assumed that was problems from our end.
Yeah, Lexergy sometimes has issues where if a bunch of people are using it, jobs get kind of jammed up in the thing, and essentially Graham needs to push a button to tell it to go again. Anyway, so just to catch everybody up, I was experiencing internet problems all day, just upstairs with things being really slow and sluggish. I don't know why I never put two and two together and thought that this might be an issue for the stream, because I think my first reaction was that it was a problem with my computer. And that was why I tried to restart my computer first. The next idea was that it was a problem with the modem, because we've had issues with that before. I never once thought to restart the router that exists, that's right next to our modem, because we've never had a problem with it. Well, now we've had a problem with it. And so I unplugged it, plugged it back in, everything works great. So this is something that we need to remember in the future if this ever happens again. We've had a lot of problems with the Google Nest little point that was up in Meridian's room, but never the one that was right next to our modem in our room. Anyway, so that's on me. I should have assumed that anything can go wrong with anything and not assumed that it was sacrosanct. So, yeah, so sorry we've lost like 40 minutes. There was some exciting news, one of which, I'll put this back, but I found it. Oh, I know. I found an Etsy store online. Oh.
That was my camera that you just pulled from the attached cord.
Whose fault is that? That they have these little things there, so we no longer had to use the rubber bands to hold up the microphone.
And I told David as he was pulling the microphone, "You have cords attached." He went, "Oh well," and kept pulling. And
I didn't think it was yours, and you could have grabbed it. I thought it was just the cords that were plugging it in. Anyway. All right. So now we don't have a herky-jerky set of rubber bands holding up our microphone. I bought replacement little screws. So that's one thing. The other thing is, fingers crossed, really hope this works, but I set up a keystroke to show this. Look at the screen. Do you see the notebook? It'll take a sec.
Yeah, waiting. I had to switch my screen over to YouTube because otherwise I can't see. No.
Really?
Like I see where I switched over to YouTube after you said look and see. But Bubba says yay. Oh, Bubba may be reacting to the fact that we're live. But no, I do not see.
Well, it doesn't work as good as it did that one time where I tried it. Now I can't seem to get rid of it. Well, with a button press, you were supposed to be able to get...
Oh, there we go. Now it's up.
Well, essentially it didn't work, but...
Okay.
Where was the... Which one is this iPhone camera? All right, anyway, well... back to the drawing board on that one, sorry. Yeah... That was part of the exciting news that I guess isn't so exciting anymore. Anyway, yeah, let's just jump right into it because I think that was the only other exciting news. Let's jump right into the poll. The poll was a very simple one. It was about what the basic shape for our glyph is going to be. Or kind of like what the O shape is, really. This is going to be something that informs all of our glyphs moving forward. as essentially it's like, every glyph will kind of like be pieces of the same thing, copied and pasted together and built in such a way. So the poll was whether essentially our basic O shape was going to kind of look like a certain type of playing card where it has sharp corners here and here on the northwest and southeast corners, while the northeast and southwest corners would be rounded. And notice that they're rounded externally and internally, so both. Or whether it was going to be rounded all the way around. And the place where we would see the difference is in our very first glyph. We were doing our glyph for lily pad. This was our glyph for lily pad. And so this is what it would look like with the sharp corners right here and the round corners here. And this is what it would look like rounded all around. Anyway, we asked patrons to vote between A or B, and the result was overwhelming A. So the sharp corners on the northwest and southeast corners. And that was the, I liked both options, but that was the option I preferred myself. Not sure about you. What do you think?
Well, you all, I don't think are supposed to be seeing anything. Chad is saying that they realized they were supposed to be seeing the glyphs, and I don't think...
Because this screen is different. Right, I forgot you're only seeing Font Lab. Sorry about that. I'll just... do I even have that option? No, I don't.
Like, do you think it'd be okay if I joined YouTube on my phone now? Like, I'm not going to crash by trying to add one more thing to the internet mix.
Sorry, folks. So I was showing you the webpage, on our Patreon. But what you were meant to be seeing was this, except not in that order. In that order. So on the right was option B, rounded all around. On the left is option A.
Sorry. Had to mute it. Had to mute it.
Jesse, this is a professional production. We've never made a mistake of any kind. That was the first one.
Listen. Working with you, I know better. Okay, so now I can see what I'm otherwise missing.
Yeah, so the sharp corners won, and again, I like that option best. So I'm happy, and most of our patrons are happy.
The style of a certain card, which I'm assuming you're not saying for copyright reasons. No, not that one.
Which card?
The Uno cards.
No, I'm pretty sure Uno cards are rounded all around. We have it right here.
Go for it. The logo? Those are new. Get the old ones.
We don't have the old ones.
Well, I can't change what... Google old Uno cards. They were...
Yeah.
They went like this.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I recall that as well, but it just doesn't appear to be the case anymore.
Well.
Anyway, I think we know.
Okay, Jonathan agrees that there's an outline of that shape. Yeah.
All right, so let's get things in place.
Oh, they still never saw anything, by the way.
What?
There were comments saying, just realized you were gesturing to things that we were potentially supposed to see. I was getting YouTube set up on my phone, so I couldn't see what was there or not there.
Just 1 second.
Oh, Jonathan is Googling Uno cards and realizing that that's not entirely right either. Like, I could have sworn memories are funny that way. Yeah, look at ones from like the 1980s, Jonathan. Like, those are the cards that in my head have never changed. Oh no, there's an uh-oh.
I needed to refresh it. When I opened it up again, I needed to refresh it. So it was still on the app that it was supposed to be, and it was like showing it, but it was frozen. Oh my goodness.
So like right now we see a white screen?
Yeah, now it's correct. Now you should be seeing stuff.
Oh. It was just really tiny. It was the options all in one screen, yeah?
Yeah, let's see.
Then here we're getting bigger. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, these are both the same now, but that's all right.
There we go.
You don't need to see the other one that really, really, really reminded one of Clippy. We can get rid of that. Don't need that. All right, so this means that the nice thing is that we've got a glyph done. Hurrah.
Yay! I liked, by the way, the curves and corners. The two of each.
Yeah, the one that won, yeah.
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 And so I did like that. Sorry, that was sort of a delayed reaction.
Yeah. This one was Clippy. See. Rounded all around. But yeah, that's good. So yeah, we have a glyph done. The only question is if we wanted to do something here, and I may experiment with an option or two just to take a look. So I'm assuming that this angle is 45 degrees. Anybody verify that? Oh, well, this is these.
Isn't there a thing that we realized you could put on there that shows the angles when you touch it?
I can just delete it, and yeah, it's 45 degrees. Okay, so here was my first idea.
Jonathan is pointing out it's also like the LTS logo font. Where you get the little TV with like round, corner.
Deep lore. All right, there we go. So this is at 201,000, and that's at 1,200. So it's okay. So there we go.
While you are working on that, I am going to work on finishing creating dictionary entries for
I don't think I like that.
3 of the words that we created. And I feel like nose and eye could be just as short as these tiny little CV roots are. Gu for nose and mi for eye. They're very basic. Nothing wrong with them being CV, right?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like mu for bud needs to be lengthened.
Yeah.
That needs to be a little bit heavier. And so while I'm working on the entries for gu and mi, which are, again, nose and eye, people in chat, if you want to think about how to complete the root for bud, we can either add a coda consonant or add another open syllable. So like, mula, something like that, consonant vowel. And so consider that while I make entries, and I will try to keep up with chat and take your suggestions into account.
I'm also going to try something else. By the way, once we kind of take care of that, it would be great if we started thinking about names for classes for the beavers.
Why is that, David? Is that because you've been hard at work on things with the game?
Oh yeah, and I'm my poor sister. She really wants to play those gamblers, and in order to do that, we gotta get the fox and beaver stuff done. I had an idea. I'm not sure what I think about.
What was that, David?
Does that all show up? I think that all shows up. Not 100% sure what I think about that. No. I do have another idea. Can do.
Oh, you're trying to do the endings, huh?
Yeah, I got one more idea. And that is, we're gonna make these curves. Curve, what are you doing?
What is it doing, David?
Make this a straight ski, and this one also a straight ski, and let's see how far they need to go. Let's take this one to 100. Nice round number.
Monk would be happy.
Yeah, that looks about right. And so we'll do the same thing over here.
This is amazing. If you didn't just hear what I kind of whispered as I was doing this, our word for I is me.
Huh.
And I'm just going to let that sit there and let everyone realize for themselves why I am tickled by that. Okay, and then nose. Oh. We already had a word for nose.
We did?
Lawn?
What? Seriously?
Apparently.
Oh, wait, where's DDC?
Did I just miss that while I was searching? Or was it meant to be a different kind of nose? I must have missed it, or we added it after? Oh no. Oh, nose.
Yeah, we've got 2 words for noses in here.
Oh my goodness.
Jake is making Senate bean soup tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Not that it'll be the same, because of course it has to actually be eaten in the United States Senate.
They could indeed be very different kinds of noses. Bibleridian is suggesting one is snout and the other one is something I need to look up. Rhinarium. I feel like that's the inside of the nose, maybe? Isn't like rhinoplasty, I know that's nose surgery, so is that like is that the inside of the nose?
Let's just double check to make sure we don't have a word for snout or muzzle. We don't. And that was not one that, okay.
Okay, so the rhinarium, Patrick is saying, would be the furless skin surface surrounding the external openings of the nostrils. And so then the furry part would be
all right.
The rest of the nose.
So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Lawn is no longer nose. It is snout or muzzle. Okay?
Okay, snout, muzzle is lawn. Okay, I'm going to get back to nose down here.
And then...
And I apologize for that.
All good. Are you going to change the English?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jess, if you have a sec, if you could look at the screen there.
As soon as I type this in so I don't forget.
Got 5 options here, and I want to eliminate one of them.
Okay, so I'm looking at the 5 on my little screen.
Probably the upper left.
I can't see the bottom of the bottom 2.
That doesn't really matter.
Are they not options? Or is it only the top that you have done things to?
Yeah, it's only the top.
Okay. So I'm just looking at, I see. Okay. I do not like the top left.
Yeah, okay.
I like the top right quite a bit. Bottom left, I think is good. I don't like the sharp. I'm going to take out the top left as well.
You got it. That's
I really like the termination of what is now the two lefts.
Mm-hmm.
The first two now. I like that
And you
kind
like
of rounded termination. I think I prefer it on both ends.
Oh, well.
I'm good with the middle one. I'm good with it being two different terminations.
Let's just see what people think then.
I kind of like both options.
Okay, starting that poll just to see here. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I would watch YouTube reviews of Bibloradian reviewing the covers of cookbooks. In particular, if there was almost no cover that he liked. Every single one he disliked for different reasons. Every single style. And so, like, the highest rated cookbook cover that Bibloradian would ever give would be 2 out of 14 stars.
I feel like this is something you would do.
Watch it? Yes, I would.
No, rate everything very low. And have actually, no, wait. If Bib is doing cookbook covers, you're doing sports logos.
Oh, that
David
is
unhappy with every sports logo.
Oh, that is something that I would do. And like, I am so furious sometimes at some of the things that I see fans doing because, as you know, the WNBA has gotten a lot of attention this past year because of rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And in particular, Caitlin Clark in particular, and of course her team is the Indiana Fever. And people have been saying, talking about WNBA logos, mentioning that the Fever's logo isn't any good, which is ridiculous because the Fever's logo is not only the best logo in the league, it's one of the best sports logos that exists. It could be slightly improved with the tail of the R terminating at the ball, and there's this kind of like a straight line that kind of goes into the ball a little bit, and it looks a little odd. But the font, gorgeous. The colors, gorgeous. The proportions, gorgeous. It's perfect. It's perfect. Anyway.
All right. My screen is going to look a little weird for a second. I apologize to everyone, but I'm going to try to get Lexergy going again because I have a few ideas for this next route, but I need to double check some sound changes. And so everyone please hang tight whilst I do that.
All right. I'm going to flag those.
Or attempt to do it anyway.
Yeah. All right. I'm very, very happy with this. I think it's time to move on to a new glyph.
I think we need to celebrate, David, because it's 3 o'clock and I hate to burst everyone's bubbles, but like we can't stay late today.
No.
So it's an hour into our stream. We were here. Where were you?
Oh, man.
Love you all. Kopiko. Yeah, I'm still getting a timeout on Lexergy if you were able to see that. So I cannot do that. Jake at the U.S. Senate making that bean soup. Yeah, you do.
Kopiko. For those moments that you share that you don't know you're sharing.
Didn't you ever just like get that slight panic of, were we actually streaming that whole time?
I certainly felt that once. All right, so I would like it very much if I could get your notebook with the drawings. And we're going to have to do this the long way.
Just a second, because I can't be that far back. There. There are things you cannot see, so you know, gotta be careful.
Oh, that reminds me. Can you give me a marker of a different color? I've got red and blue over here.
Wow. Like, I feel like none of these are great options for going against red and blue, but there you have it. Because red is similar to orange, blue is similar to purple, green I feel is kind of in the middle.
So first we're going to go ahead and put a star by lily pad because it's done. All right, next, by the way, a bit of trivia. Both Jesse and I are wearing t-shirts from recent concerts we've been to. Jesse is wearing her pink shirt from the Pink concert, and I am wearing my new Iron Maiden shirt from the last Iron Maiden concert I went to last Friday, which was very good. Heard a couple of songs I haven't heard before, and many I have heard, one of which I just always am delighted to be able to hear Wasted Years. That was great. It was nice to hear The Prisoner again. I've heard it live, but you know, I've been to a lot of Iron Maiden shows. So, okay, these are those. So what do I want to work on next? Got that ear. Might do ear, might do nose. And these are just as reminders of the original drawings. Thank you, Jess. Because we do have these. Actually, stump might be easiest. Like that one's just right in there. And those will be interesting too. Why is that? Right. Okay. Because if we're going with stump, right? It's going to be something like, you know, that, right? And so the the original is like, and then some of that, you know, in there. But now that we have our new style, we can see what it's going to look like, and it's going to be much more angular. So the question is, will these terminations still make sense? Or are we going to do something a little different? So stump is phi-ah. And how are we spelling that? Was it PH? Yeah, because if it's BH, then it's got to be PH. There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, you!
How are things going, David?
And I bet if I do undo, it's not going to go back to... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I hate it when it does this. I hate it when it does this.
What is happening?
Oh, God. Okay. It's okay. Everything is back to normal. Except that PHA is gone. It's just gone. And I don't know where the hell it is.
PHA.
Did I save it before? God, I'm so angry. Yeah, it's gone. There it is. And now it's in the wrong place. Of course. Oh my God, I'm so angry.
So I was thinking for bud, have it be a dental T followed by an I or an A. So muti, muta, which becomes muthi or mutha.
What? Word for bud has to start with MU?
Yeah.
And you thought it would be a dental T?
After it?
Oh, after it. Oh, yeah, whatever.
Muthi, mutha would be the final forms, if depending on whether we like E or A better.
Oh, God.
I was really speaking out loud, so chat knew I was doing something over here, and to see if anyone has an opinion. But David, very grumpily.
Things just happened that I didn't want to happen, that's all. Bubba's saying maybe we should have canceled today, and I was imagining that, of course, like, you know, we stream at the pleasure of our patrons. There is a, you know, they have to extend us an invitation to stream, and then we can choose to accept or not, and it's just taken as implicit at this point, mere formality, but they can always exercise their executive privilege. So this one's easy. In fact, I'm gonna go nutso gutso here and just do this. Oh, not that button, whatever that was.
Oh, Jake had suggested Moo. Let's do that.
Need another piece. By the way, is Karis here, or did he just you know? I wish I could see chat. I don't think I need these over here. I'm gonna quit them, and then I can see part of chat at least. Oh, Karis is there. Good. I figured Karis was probably the only one that cared about information about the Iron Maiden concert.
Oh, and from a comment a little while ago, yeah, Bubba, my shirt is tie-dye, and so at the top you can only see, you're right, blue and yellow really, but it gets into different colors as you go down, so, you know. Boy, that hurt my knees to stand up.
Well,
I'm getting old, David.
That is, in fact, the exact way I would put it.
That I'm getting old?
No, you've been old for like 30 years. Old in body, not old in spirit. Well, no. I think that we're well suited to each other. I think each of us...
Is that where you're going to leave it?
Yeah, I think each of us, for different reasons, is 80 years old. Oh, and you know, when I said old in body, I didn't mean old in body. I meant old in joints. There's a difference.
Listen, David's not wrong. I started having joint problems when I was 9, and by the time I was 16, I was diagnosed with the kind of arthritis that usually they see in people who are like 60 or 70, and so he's not wrong. I entered all of our orthography words.
And I just did some.
Here is what... Ah, look, this page. This page was the day that I was doing the brioche, and I was trying to make sure I remembered to schedule in the brioche experience, and that's important to people on Discord who knew I was trying to answer questions, but also was like, gotta go. Brioche is happening.
Yeah.
But here's what I would love from you all. As you know, I drew the images that David is now using and that we have assigned roots to, but I only had 32 images, 2 of which were diacritics. So really only 30. And I'm going to double count those to make sure I have 30. What that means is I roughly need 17 to 20 more. And I'm going to count to get an exact number. But we do need more images. But like, sometimes my brain just kind of goes a little bit slower on like trying to think about what images to draw. So if you all think about beavers and Biblaridian, I'm really looking at you here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Helping me come up with ideas of things that they would see on a daily basis that might be important to them. Important enough that it's like, oh, you know, if you want this sound, we're gonna call up this thing. And so I would love to get feedback on that. And so yeah, some kind of
What the heck happened there?
lich, Patrick? Is that like, oh, a fern? I like that, Tethys. But like, is that like a fungus or something, Patrick?
He was talking about
Totally.
a lich is a type of evil being. So I'm hoping that it was just a joke.
Well, it's Patrick.
Yeah.
And Patrick did follow it up with in a vast forsaken desert. So I'm gonna ignore that. An evil being. Yes. However, yeah, let's finish off that word that Patrick started and didn't know, to finish it with lichen.
Oh, lichen. I really liked that guy.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. Oh, bye, Tethys. Like a zombie wizard who uses necromantic magics to stay immortal. That's a possum, not a beaver. Patrick, get your head in the game.
Yep.
What's the point of eating beans if they're not evil? Those are the best beans.
I think I might just...
Ooh. And also, Patrick was doing some self-reference, not giving me images to draw. Thinking too about what's in a diet. I know that beavers eat bark, which is why bark was one of the images.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wild onions. Do beavers eat wild onions? Thank you, Jake. I'm gonna add wild onions. I guess even if they don't eat them, if it's something they need to avoid, that could be an important concept.
Yeah.
Just to be like, no this.
Trying to decide what to do with this stump one. I don't think it needs the left elements anymore.
So we could try to add more body parts and tools. And so DinoKnit, what kind of tools do you think? What do you envision them using? The wild onions would probably be just as nasty to them as regular onions.
Yeah, I don't think we need those anymore.
Yeah, Patrick, we're brainstorming things that I could draw for David for glyph creation. You know what, Patrick? I'm going to write those down. Hammer, chisel, saw, because that gives me an ability to play with ideas for what would a beaver saw look like? What would they use to create a saw?
And those are really good and really thematically appropriate. I'm going to go back to here because...
Good to know. Jake says that ferns are a big part of a beaver's diet, so that's awesome.
Oh. What did I just do? Stump. All right.
Lily roots. See, I knew that water lilies were important to them, so I've got the lily pad and the water lily, but I didn't think about the lily roots. I do, however, we already have an image for roots, and that may have been like where it started.
Nose.
Can you be more specific, Patrick? What kind of bugs do we think
ear
would make for, corn and beans? They like corn and beans.
So would ear be like this, or would it be like this?
Well, Bubba, technically speaking, they wouldn't need a saw, but like as they evolve, they may like to, use things other than their teeth.
Figure that out.
Dragonfly, done and done. A flea is hard to draw. It's just a little dot, a little jumping dot.
Yeah.
I guess I could draw a leg with a little. Did that end up as an image though?
Yeah, it did. That was the one that we used for NZ, the superscript NZ one. Nice. What is this? Ear is.
I mean, honestly,
Ooh.
Bib, I think the predators, like I would think there would still be bigger animals that could be predators to them. But also like now there's, with the, age of weaponry upon them, suddenly things that were not predators could become predators. Like, how like mice wouldn't have been predators, but now with their tanks, suddenly they could be. So like, yes and no, they have enemies. But like there would still be bears, right, David? Like even if they aren't part of the speaking universe, like there would still be bigger things that they may come across. They just may not be quite as dangerous because they can defend themselves better.
That's for the larger mammals. That was an open question as to what would happen, and the other thing that we know that is going to happen, and that this is the part that still needs a lot of planning and thought, is how the insects are going to be changed. Insects are becoming much larger and more of a threat than they were previously. So that is something that is definitely happening. I don't need that. Oh.
They like apple trees. Do they like apples as well, Jake? Like the actual apple?
It wasn't supposed to be at 1,500. It was supposed to be at 1,200. Interesting.
And I saw your comment on the foxnut, and I need to look that up later.
Oh, that's much cuter.
Boy, Patrick, you really want a spider. I see you. I'll write it down.
All right.
Oh, you're singing the spider pig song, but with spider glyph. I get it.
You have any frame of reference for that? Have you seen the Simpsons movie? Like, I can't imagine you would have.
No, but I've seen the spider pig song.
Oh, really?
Eurasian beavers eat wild fennel.
Wow.
Does that mean Canadian beavers do not?
Like,
do we have wild fennel here? We have it on the islands, on the Channel Islands.
I assume.
But that was because someone brought fennel and it took over the island.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, it doesn't really matter if there's wild fennel. If somebody's done that in Canada now, then, I mean, it could be there in the future.
Fennel. Yeah, it's...
We're moving forward, not backward.
Oh, God, what island was I on? Shoot. They all have different names. It wasn't Catalina. But I was on one of the bigger Channel Islands, and it was one where, like, some very wealthy people had lived, and they brought sheep to the island, and so that did some interesting things to the island ecology. But because it used to actually belong to, like, either one or two people. Like, this whole island, it was just, like, these people's place. And, yeah, they liked fennel and planted it, and then it just started growing. So now there's, like, entire fields of fennel. And if you recall, I sent pictures to you of the fennel, because I was like, oh, David would love this.
Man, incredible. Okay, so then now the question is, are we doing that? It's got to be at least, it's 200.
Lightning, rain, tornado. Do they have tornadoes in Canada? A halo of ice around the sun. Are you imagining our little underwater beavers getting trapped in the winter? Is that what's happening? Would definitely. I don't want to do cave because I feel like that's just going to come across looking like the dams and everything, and the food cache and everything else that I.
All right, Jess, what do you think for the little tufted ear?
1 second. Magpie says ice crystals in the air can make a halo around the sun. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Okay. Sundogs and the like. Okay. This is for the ear.
Yeah, the tufted ear.
Oh, what happens if I like them both? Oh, if you force me to choose, I would choose the one on the right, the open one.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a hard...
I think you made the right choice.
Sundog, halo around sun from ice crystals. I am just writing that down, even if just to know that may not be a basic thing, though. I just want to remember that. Okay, mountain or hill, mound. They would definitely potentially have mounds. Jake, you've just set yourself up as a culinary enemy to David.
What did Jake say?
Jake said that their body rejects fennel, just as it rejects strong sunlight, which is fine that your body rejects strong sunlight. Mine does too, but fennel. And then went on to say, I mask it with cumin anyway.
That's such a weird thing, though. Fennel is it's something nice and fancy. It's a delight.
And Mateus drinks cumin tea. Like, I'm not going to read the follow-up comment because I don't want to get an X rating. But I know, I'm surprised too, Jonathan. Maybe they haven't figured out what it is. But anyway, David is not a fan of cumin, and so I cut back on its addition when I use it in recipes. I used to use it much more heavily than I do now. I also used to use onions.
You've been very kind to me.
Oh, Mateus, I'm so sorry to hear that. I swear the last, 3 years have not been kind to your health. I just swear you've had really random things go wrong, and that is so unfortunate. So tell your body, stop, and behave the age that you look, which means you're going to have the body of a 20-year-old again.
what's the thing that makes it so...
Fennel does not really taste like licorice. It does come from the same family, and it's got the undertones, so it's like, yeah, but like it's herbaceous in a way that licorice is not.
Yeah. I'm playing with stuff right now. Smoothness.
I've got a lot of really good ideas, and I want to spend some time Googling some images. Maybe I should get a third electronic set up so that way I can have all the things going. You're not wrong, Karis. Fennel does taste more like licorice than most, if not all, other vegetables, and yet it's still not super licoricey. Thank you, Patrick. That is very helpful. I do think I am going to... No, I can draw some of these just by thinking about it, including acorn. Are there any other tree nuts or seeds, I should say, that would be prevalent in Canada?
Good question for chat. Who knows? What was the one that was like that?
Oh, good question, Patrick. Does anyone know if in this part of Canada they have those trees with the little spiky gumball things? I don't know their real name. I know exactly what Patrick is talking about. Oh, maple seeds. Oh, they definitely have to have those. You can't be in Canada if you don't have maple, right?
Yeah. And you use maple seeds to grow trees or to make those energy bars.
In Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
You also need acorns, though.
You need acorns,
and
you need maple
cones.
Seeds, and pine cones, and you mix those together. I could also draw a pine cone.
You know what? We could have all three, and then our beavers can make a healthy snack for themselves.
Yeah. Just
like in Stardew Valley.
Yeah. All right. So now, if we have a moment, I'm going to return to what Karis was talking about. Yesterday, Karis saw Jeff Tate, and he thought that I would find this interesting, and I think that's the exact word for it.
Interesting?
It's such a difficult thing. It's such a difficult thing, and a weird thing, because it's like, I think people are familiar with, with Harry Potter, certainly, one of the most recognizable examples of kind of a creator tainting their creation with their actions afterwards. And with Jeff Tate, such a strange thing. So first, perhaps the greatest heavy metal singer of all time. Just an extraordinary talent, unlike anything anybody had ever heard up to that point. And there have been plenty that have tried to imitate it since, but it's just, there's nothing, I think, that tops Jeff Tate in his prime. He didn't take as good care of his voice, so that's something that happened, right? But beyond that, there was just the incredibly divisive, bizarre, and acrimonious split that happened between Jeff Tate, the lead singer of Queensryche, and the rest of Queensryche. Jeff Tate's Wikipedia article has a controversy section indeed, and it's probably longer than the biography section at this point. But the band's album here in the Now Frontier is, and I'll argue with any Queensryche fan about this, is terrible. Just terrible. Completely bizarre direction for the band to make. It sounded like they went back and tried to make like an early 90s grunge album. Everything about it is terrible, though it did produce one of the most bizarre, really cool songs. It sounds like it came from a different era and a different band, which is... oh gosh, what's the name of that song? It's the one, you know, you mystify with the things that you say. It sounds like a 70s song, and it's not sung by Jeff Tate. Anyway, but so right, as things kind of from there started to get frayed with Queensryche, with Jeff Tate wanting to take over more control of the band. There was an issue with, apparently his wife was in charge of the fan club, and you know, there was some disagreement about how that was going to happen. Anyway, it all came to a head when some concert, there was a big fight beforehand. I think it was in Brazil. A big fight that happened before the concert and on stage, and Jeff Tate just left it all, and it had to do with his wife control of the fan club. And then in particular, there was this notion that Jeff Tate had that he essentially was the one who created one of Queensryche's most famous albums, Operation Mindcrime. He claimed that he did all of it, and that they were going to do some like a movie version of it or something, and he felt that like it was just his thing, and so that only he should benefit from it and get money from it. Anyway, then there was this whole thing about them going to court, who controls the name Queensryche, and it was originally written into the contract, which I think was a great idea. There were 4 original members, and they split it so that each of them had 25%. That was great. Anyway, so this was around the whole time that the Tea Party became like really famous in the United States. This went to a judge in Seattle who came up with the brilliant decision that the market should decide who Queensryche was, because they wanted to split up most of the members of Queensryche with a different lead singer, and Jeff Tate on his own with a new band. And so they both released an album under the name Queensryche, even though they were 2 different bands. And the idea, this judge's idea, was like, well, whichever one sells better, that one's the real Queensryche. And it was just humiliating for everybody. Anyway, it's completely destroyed the legacy of Queensryche and Jeff Tate. So, Karis went to see Jeff Tate yesterday. I am indeed very interested. Like, first of all, what does he sound like today? Like, can he still do that stuff? He also had like antics where like somebody was taking like a video of him when he was performing, and he like grabbed their phone and kind of like, you know, made some faces into the phone and then threw their cell phone away. It was just like, Oh yeah, new band is now Operation Mindcrime. Ooh, more like Jeff Tate. Ooh. It's a Bumblebee nickname. It's cute, but it stings. All right, he sounded pretty good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, honestly, because did he play any Queensryche songs from, you know, the old days? Like, I have no idea what happened with the catalog there. Yes, that is exactly how it should be. And so he only played old Queensryche stuff. Okay, now I want to know a set list. Because I am super curious. Oh, but that's not right. The corners are wrong. Oh, blast and blimey. Wait, it didn't even ask permission. It didn't ask permission, Jess.
What didn't?
When I pasted it just pasted it right over. It didn't ask permission. Oh my god, what did it do? It pasted it as a new layer. Okay, now I see why it didn't ask permission. just going to do this.
I don't know what sundews are. I'm writing it down.
Is it like a sea-dew, but you ride on the surface of the sun?
Pitcher plant.
Okay, good. Posting the set list on Discord. For those of you who have never heard of Queensryche, which is a reasonable thing if you're younger and don't listen to metal and who don't know who Jeff Tate is, I invite you, okay, you get one song to show his range. This is what I recommend you do. I recommend you go to YouTube and look up the song Screaming in Digital. That will give you an idea.
A sundew is a carnivorous plant.
Just
That's terrifying.
Huh.
Now, well, David has been chit-chatting.
I know. It's just Queensryche was so important to me, and like it was one of those things where there have been a lot of phenomena that I missed out on simply because of my age, where it's like, you know, this would have been my thing if I was younger. Things that, you know, I was only dimly aware of because, you know, it's like between the ages of 1 and 10 in the 80s. And so it's like I always dreamed of like, hey, you know, one day I'm an adult, I can go see these things. And that was just never going to be the case for Queensryche. I'm really pleased I got to see Van Halen first at all. Eddie Van Halen is dead, shocking. But I saw them with Sammy Hagar, which I thought wasn't going to happen. Sammy Hagar, another person that you don't want to Google, but I really liked his stay with Van Halen the most. You know, I saw Iron Maiden with Bruce Dickinson. That was a thing I didn't think was going to happen because that, again, they also split up at the time once I was able to like do things. But they got back together. And yeah, Queensryche is one of those ones that I really wish I could have seen them. I really wish I could have seen them. Let's see. Do I like any bands that didn't split up? Radiohead's remained pretty stable, haven't they? Muse still is together. An amusing pair to mention since they kind of hate each other. Maybe that's in the past. There's a kind of frog in Ontario called a spring peeper. Oh, this has surely got to be smaller. Unless it's log. This one's going to be longer. And maybe skinnier. So how did we end up with 550? Wait, 550? What's this? Oh, 800. 800. That was how...
I don't know what's going on.
What's the width of our lines then?
Appreciate it.
200. Oh, it's just 550 because that's 50. Okay, I got it. It's 600 on the inside. Okay, got it. I'm actually gonna make this guy a little smaller.
David,
1, 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. This is gonna be fun. I think this is gonna be fun. Yes.
Can you remind me if we ended up needing to get rid of the grass one because it started with au? We got rid of it?
Yeah, because
I'm going to draw a kind of related image. We could bring that idea back, but with a different plant.
Okay. Let's go to log. Oh. Wait a minute. What's the word for log? Please, the word for log, dam, and clover.
Log is uka?
Okay.
Pug.
Which one?
Pug, dam.
Okay.
Clover is pizza.
Anybody see anything wrong with this table here?
I can't see it.
There's no row for blank. Oh wait, there is. It's down here. It's down here. But the word for log starts with a U, right?
For log?
Yeah.
Uka, right? Wasn't that what I just said?
My bad.
Uka.
So log goes down there.
All right, I've got 6 more images. I'm going to take a little break because my hand is starting to decide I need a break. But here, oh wait, yeah, you can see me if I do this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hold it up to the camera as well.
Jeez, those are really good.
And so
What the heck?
There's some more images. So the grass, instead of grass, they could be little wild onions.
My goodness. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, I get what you're saying. Because then we can rescue that glyph. That was so cute. All right, so we got that. Let's see. Yeah, it was badly done.
Praying mantises. I do like praying mantises. Goodness gracious. Teeth is indeed a glyph already, and so is tail. So yeah. That's why I wasn't sure because we did paw, teeth, tail, nose, and then just body in general, also head. So the body parts, we're kind of getting through the ones that are super identifiable. And so, yeah. Oh, Karis, yeah. Let me write down praying mantis as an idea. I like to have more ideas of what I need because some of them are really boring images. And then, yeah, Karis asked if you could put that.
You bet. These are really good. And hopefully next time the little keystroke combo I had will work. I feel like the only reason it didn't this time was because of all of the chicanery that went on, with the internet and whatnot. Look at that moss, just lovely fern.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
That maple seed, it looks just like Stardew Valley.
That's what they look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Have you ever played with a whirligig?
What?
Maple seed. A helicopter seed is what we also call them.
What? Really?
If you get a maple seed and if you throw it in the air just right, it goes all the way back down to the ground like a little helicopter.
That is
and it floats. It doesn't drop straight down. It does its little spinnies while it kind of floats and comes down.
Ooh, dandelion puff. Lovely idea.
I like dandelions. Stoneflies. Okay. Yeah, good question, Jonathan. I guess, are there not maple trees out here that drop seeds?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we've got maple trees here, but, are there types of maples that don't drop seeds?
Well, I just ask because, I actually, as we've been walking out and about, I don't recall seeing any maple seeds on the ground. And, maple trees do indeed just drop them. And so now I'm wondering if we either don't have a lot, maybe they're not indigenous, so they are only here if someone plants one. And so, yeah. I think so too, Karis. Yeah, but anyway. And yeah, Patrick, you're exactly right. Their shape is literally built to be spread, so that way maple trees can spread because the wind takes them and carries them away.
That's why they gig whirlily.
That's why they what?
Gig whirlily.
Indeed. Well, Patrick, that is an idea. I was trying to avoid verbs though because we're not doing a logography. If this were something where like a whole concept needs to be embedded into the glyph itself, verbs would feel better, but like otherwise it's difficult for me to figure out how to do some of those verbs. But yeah.
I don't think that this...
Oh, Jonathan is saying that maps on Google are showing maple trees mostly east of the Mississippi. I will say they are slightly west because I grew up west of the Mississippi and they were all around where I'm from, but only slightly west.
Well, just go to Google Maps and put maple tree and search nearby. It'll pull up all maple trees.
Well, I'm not going to do that because my screen is being broadcast.
I assumed everybody would want to see all the maple trees nearby. And then there could be like, Yelp ratings.
Anyway.
First came to this maple tree and I saw an abundance of leaves on the ground. That was the first indication that my tree experience was going poorly. Anyway,
Patrick, yes, I is already a glyph, or will be at some point, I should say. Right, Jonathan? I mean, why not just add to the personal information on screen? Get my social security number there, get my address showing. Get some legal documents to put under that little camera of yours. Jake, tree took too long to drop seeds, 1 out of 5.
There you go.
Yeah, Jonathan, I could imagine that based on where I envision maples being happiest, they need to have more rain than you would necessarily get
That's right. It's not supposed
the
to
further you move west. And so I could imagine, I could actually, right in my head, kind of imagine exactly where I think the dividing line would start to fall. So I'm curious to go to a map after the stream to just see if I'm kind of right. But also like in Kansas where they do get rain, that's not the issue. It's just so open that a lot of trees get too much sun and it ends up being bad.
I'm actually wondering if this picture of the bud you have, do you think it's going to be normal height or big height? Big extra height?
Oh, to go tall?
Yeah.
I think it could go either way. For that one, because the focus was on the bud itself, I could see it being normal height, whereas something like cattail may end up getting tall.
You could actually have a descender. I don't know if that would be a silly thing. Yeah, it might be a silly thing for it to have a descender.
Milky Way glyph. Do they have those candy bars? I did my own little drum for you.
This is a pickle. This is a pickle. It's kind of silly, but this might be the pole.
Why, we're gonna turn a pickle into a glyph? These beavers could pickle things.
Yeah, they probably could.
Minnie would love it.
Minnie's here?
No, Minnie's not here, but in spirit, Minnie is always here. Nice magpie. And Jake, that's an interesting question. Milky Ways to your Mars bars. Like, I know we have Mars bars, or at least I've seen them before. Have I only seen them while traveling? We have them, right?
I think we do now.
Okay. Are they roughly similar to a Milky Way?
They're identical.
They are. So, Jake, you are correct. I did not know.
A little rough and ready. This would be better with kerning, but whatever.
Wait, did I not do? Well, I think I had an idea for a hammer that I didn't actually draw.
And the other idea is this. Don't you sass me.
Who's sassing you? I didn't sass you.
Oh my god, it sassed me. It's gone. All that work. Oh.
Is this computer program?
Monkey trumpets.
And did you just say monkey trumpets?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's not original, but that's actually one of the nice things about, being in a relationship with you, Jess. You've seen nothing, so I can make all of these references and jokes from things you haven't seen, and you think that they're all just me.
So David has this friend named John that when they get together, I'm pretty sure all they do for most of the time they talk is quote movies or shows to each other. But I can't verify that because I have no idea where things come from. But like I swear the whole time you're like referencing voices or characters or things, and I'm like I don't even know. And so usually when the two of them get together, I do a lot of smiling and just nodding because it's like I just let things be funny for the sake of being funny, and I have no idea what inside jokes I'm missing.
Usually we are, except that they're not from TV shows or movies. They're from sketches that we've done in the past. Like they're just our own thing.
Sketches they have done from the past. I'm gonna let you all sit with that.
Comedy sketches.
I am so interested. Like I knew you guys had made videos together, but like
yeah. What did you think we did?
Play basketball.
We did that too.
Apparently, my husband was in a comedy group.
It was like kids fooling around on YouTube before the days where there was YouTube.
What'd you use?
I took a screenshot because I think I am going to do the poll on this. It's kind of a tough nut to crack here, but yeah, like there's a lot of lore that's referenced. Gary was a character that I did. We just came up with off the cuff. And then there's of course the lore with Mr. Boomer, who is the theoretical owner of the Boomers, amusement park chain. And so these are just things that you got to know, but no, they're not TV shows. They're just us. Oh, good question, Eric. Why didn't anybody else say anything?
What?
Eric says, why is your audio so low today? Like,
were we coming out of the wrong thing?
I mean, you could have said something. We can always turn up the input. Oh my God, Garrus. No, it's not. like our input is below 50%. It's now at 75%. Like we can. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Patrick says that's loud.
75% is too loud. Do you have your volume up all the way, or like, I don't know. All right. 60%. I don't know, whatever. Okay. Well, then you would just turn it down. Ideally, it should be at the right volume for... ideally, it should be at the right volume so that you don't have to change your volume when you watch the stream. Like, that's the ideal there. So, you know. All we need to do is just get it to a point where it is at that point, and then, you know, you just do that. All right, that's, I think, yeah, that's where I'm going to sit with that. And I think I'm going to, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to deal with the bumps. Is there anything that doesn't have any bumps right now? The fish is built off of bud, so we can't do anything for that. Oh, whoa, that's cool.
What is?
Roots. I think I'm actually going to do roots right now. Hold on a sec. So the roots kind of, it's this one here that kind of looks like that, but we're going to change it based on what I'm seeing, you know, what we're doing with this font, and it's going to be like this. Yeah, with the descender, just like that. So that's what we're doing now. So what we need is this. Oh, we need to figure out where roots goes. Where does roots go? It's G-I. G.
All right. Oh, it is past 4 o'clock. And that's important for me because I have a schedule to keep tonight. However, David.
Yeah?
Do you want to show / look at my 3 new drawings?
Yes, I do. Just give me one moment here. Let's merge those. Okay, go ahead. Here we go. Hee hee. Look at that. There's a hammer. There's the chisel. How interesting.
And so effectively it's like a bunch of sharpened rocks attached to a bar, and then they would go back and forth, you know, with 2 beavers, one on either side of the saw.
Oh, that's lovely. I like that idea. And get a long boy in there. All right. Thank you very much.
Some more options. I'm going to work on some of these to come up with more ideas, because always it's better to have more drawings than what we need. And so I'll keep working on those. And I mean, in the meantime, we've got lots of other glyphs to play with, so it's not like we're going to run out of things.
Yeah.
And so yeah. That's, I think, you're, what are you doing?
Funny stuff. Don't worry. Oh! Oh boy. Hold on.
I feel like I shouldn't have laughed at that, but that noise was just very endearing.
I see. Hold on. I've got this.
Oh, now, Patrick, that would be a really interesting thing. Oh, good, Jonathan. I'm glad I'm not alone. What?
What were you alone in?
Finding that little noise you made endearing.
Thank you. I try very hard to keep you interested. All right, and then we do this, and then we put this guy in the middle. We don't stop that. Why would you think I was moving that? Absurd. Okay, now we're going to drag this down so that it is at the descender height, and then these are going to go up. Ta-da! Ah!
Yay! Delightful.
Huh. Why is that like that?
I don't know what...
Huh.
Oh, the right where it's curved?
Yeah, that one shouldn't be curved. That one should be straight. That one should be straight. So we just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delete that. There we go.
All right. So you ready? You already know you're going to do poll on the design. You've got a lot of things to show. We are sorry this is a shorter stream than normal. But I do feel like we got some good work done.
Oh, yeah. And I got...
And Patrick, I think that was the roots glyph.
Yeah, it is. The hand-holding roots. So this is what we've got. This is what we've got done so far. Looks pretty good. It's going to look a lot better when kerning can be added. You can also see right away that at smaller sizes, you don't see the rounding as much. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're getting kind of the best of both worlds if you consider the early font choice, the early font poll. I also think, snap.
What?
It just disappeared.
Oh.
Wait, here we go. I think I'm going to have to, for this lily pad, I think I'm going to have to bring that down. I think I'm going to have to bring it down. Mm-hmm. To the midpoint. There we go. And that is because, and that's why you test things at smaller sizes. See? Because if you get it really small, it's like, now it just looks like, it's barely in there, right? But with the, when it was bigger and you reduced it, like you just couldn't see it at all. So I think this is the size that it's going to have to be. And very good ski. Thank you so much. Isn't it just so nice of us that we stayed an extra 8 minutes for you to give you a 2 hour and 8 minute stream? Isn't that nice of us?
We did our best. Thank you all for being here and for hanging on through technical difficulties. If you are a patron and interested in joining in the Woke with Yiju challenge that's going on this month, make sure you take a listen to the podcast that dropped on October 1st. Also, make sure you check Discord. There's been an updated document because several patrons have pointed out some slight issues with the sounds that were in some of the words. And so that has been fixed in an updated document on Discord. However, if you work with the original, with the episode, honestly, you're going to still be just fine. So it'll be okay. All right. So thank you all. And I think that's it until next week. Yeah, David?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, until next week, stay grammar, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.